What's the first sign that a movie is going to suck? I don't know if this happens in other countries, but in the UK you occasionally get TV spots where they have mini interviews with members of an audience who've just watched the film. So it'll be filmed in a cinema lobby and be like, what did you think of the film? And there'll be a family of four going, oh it was great, really funny, just perfect for all the family. When you see one of these you know it's going to be absolute dog's hit. When the critics say it's an adventure unlike any other or something similar. Their only selling point is that they have insert famous actor. The trailer is just a video of people reacting to seeing the movie. Whole movie is shown in the trailer. I don't do that anymore. I'm retired. But you're the best. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this my way. From 2 of the 12 writers of Scary Movie. See how much exposition they have to shove in the trailers. Some stupid viral marketing attempt at making it controversial by saying they don't want you to see this movie. Red flag, that movie is going to suck. Limited access to critics. That's always a giveaway. 10 minutes in and the screen is still too dark. An actual useful answer would be, if there is a lot of verbal exposition in the beginning. Like the plot background and circumstances are randomly explained by the characters. Honey, you know, we have to go to your grandparents' funeral now, as they died last week in the big fire at KFC. Like no one would say this and it is obviously meant for the audience. This is a sign of lazy writing and probably the rest won't be written that well either. As soon as I hear it's a remake, 90% of the time it's gonna be trash. It stars Steven Seagal. Its lead actor keeps getting arrested. Starring James Corden. It's a Disney live-action remake. We're going to save the world. Directed by Uwe Boll. If the seats in front of you happen to be seating a pair of robots built out of garage sale junk. Premiere at the beginning of the year. Some exceptions to this, but usually the studios save the ones they know are gonna kick ass for the fall. Usually if it's advertised or opens with something along the lines of forget everything you know about. Animated movies where they list the starring roles in the trailer, there are like 12 of them and at least half of them are pop singers. It's a reboot of a movie from the 80s or 90s. It's a medieval-type movie but the actors and actresses sound like they are auditioning for the Californians' SNL skit. From the producers of My Ex-Fil thought that the more they hype a movie, the worse it was. He figured they were trying to get people to go see it before word got around how bad it was. If it's January or February and the advert describes it as the best movie of the year, you know it's shite. Because when there's only been like 4 movies released so far, best movie of the year is a very low bar. When it starts in middle of the action and then cuts to 3 weeks earlier. It stars Madonna, J-Lo or Steven Seagal. It stylizes itself as the summer's next blockbuster. It was directed by Uwe Boll or M. Night Shyamalan. Ding dong. It has a C-list actor starring alongside a kid or an animal. The trailer starts out in a world where, with the voice we all remember from our childhood. Directed by Alan Smithee aka Alan Smithee. This is used when the person directing the film thinks it's so bad that they don't want their name associated with it. And if the person in charge thinks it's that bad, it probably is. The trailer walks you well into the third act. Generally speaking, I find a strong link between contemporary pop music in movies and overall movie quality. When movies have actual scores and don't rely on pop recording artists, I find they tend to be higher quality. I know correlation doesn't show causation, but I just found that link years ago and it seems true. When it's critically acclaimed with no reason given. Nah bruv, You paid them off because they can't say why it's good. Botter get downvoted to hell but obvious pandering. The gay character whose only character trait is being gay. The gender-swapped character who has no depth besides being their gender. The race-swapped character whose color is part of their character like Snow White. Diversity is fantastic, but good God, make some original, cool characters instead of a lazy remake of something else. Reimagined. Reboot. Blind casting. Modernized. A late review embargo lift date. Live-action remake of a cartoon. They focus advertising on a race-swap controversial social situation. It tells me they know it's bad, but they know there will be criticism for the race swap or controversial situation and will use that to deflect criticism of the product itself. They preemptively accused the fans of being racist, sexist, homophobic for not liking it when it's not even out yet. Ezra Miller. When the characters are trying to educate the audience, you can tackle societal or cultural issues with good storytelling, instead of using some shitty one-liners. No one wants to feel patronized by enlightened Hollywood dickheads. 14 production company logos at the start of the film. It stars Kevin Hart or The Rock or both. I get it, they have vastly different body types. I'm pissing my pants with laughter. It has Adam Sandler grinning like a freshly lobotomized lab monkey on the poster. There's a pack of hungry, shrieking coal officers scampering about in the theater. When there's a sex scene in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Lately, it's been Disney made it. Something happens, yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. Too predictable. It has the word furious in the title. It's a remake of an already established well-made movie. The script. How many one-liners they try to cram in at the start. Lead character is ex-Special Forces. Somehow, Palpatine returned. When it opens with a ton of exposition. Don't tell the audience, show the audience. It's starring The Rock. I'm one of those difficult to turn off viewers. You've turned me off, then you failed. It's a Netflix original action movie over 140 minutes long. The trailer doesn't actually tell you what the movie is about. Starring Carrot Top. When the tone changes significantly between the first trailer and the last trailer. Here's an easy one when you're well into the flick, and then you realize that the trailers spoil the best parts of the movie. The words fast, furious followed by any sequential number. The dog dies. Side character is pregnant. You pretty much know she's going to give birth at the worst time. First 20 seconds in and there's a news montage giving a large exposition dump. Overuse of CGI. As an example, The Thing 1982 is better than The Thing 2014. If a horror movie is PG-13, then it's probably gonna suck. Directed, written, and produced by Neil Breen. If it's a live-action Disney movie. When the trailer kicks off with a slow, stripped-down version of a popular song, it's always an underperformer. Always. And those trailers never show anything because the producers are scared we'll see the turd they put together. But, hey, remember this cool song. A modern remake of everyone's favorite classic. That is why I have such respect for the movie Major League, because the funniest line in the trailer I saw wasn't even in the movie. The trailer showed Charlie Sheen's character giving up an enormous home run to an opponent, then cut to the players teasing him about it afterwards. He said something about it wouldn't have been a home run in some parks. They responded, which park would that have not been out of? Sheen answered, Yellowstone. I went to see this movie because of that line, so I was really surprised not to see it in the theater. When the trailer says, from the producers of. When in the first sentence of the title crawl, dead characters come back to life. Although in the same movie. Somehow Palpatine returned. I watch a lot of B-movies, and one trope that usually means the movie will suck is long nonsensical scientific explanations for why X strange thing is happening. When the trailer shows you the whole